You're driving at night. Your eyes are open. Your hands are on the wheel. Then the road suddenly jumps sideways. For 1 or 2 seconds, your brain slipped into a microsleep, a tiny, involuntary burst of sleep you may not even notice. Unfortunately, the car did notice. So how did you get here? Rewind 24 hours. This morning, you felt normal. Inside your brain, attention, memory, emotion, and movement were cooperating. Your body clock used daylight to support alertness, while your sleep pressure started low. But every hour you stayed awake, a chemical signal called adenosine helped that pressure rise. It is one way your brain keeps track of its need for sleep. Then bedtime arrived, and you introduced adenosine to coffee. Caffeine temporarily blocks some adenosine receptors. That can make you feel more alert, but the adenosine has not disappeared. Caffeine is basically covering the fuel gauge and announcing that the tank has been repaired. After roughly 16 hours awake, your first problems may be subtle. Your reaction time becomes less consistent. Responses become uneven with lapses. Your attention wanders. Working memory starts dropping names, instructions, and whatever you entered the kitchen to find. By hour 24, honestly, I feel fine. This is the first trap. A sleep-deprived brain is not always good at judging how impaired it has become. Sunrise brings a temporary second wind. Feeling better, you assume you are better. Meanwhile, sustained attention keeps flickering. Decisions become sloppier. Small annoyances feel enormous. Coordination becomes less reliable, and your appetite may pull toward quick, high-energy food. Short sleep can temporarily disturb blood pressure and glucose regulation. That does not mean instant disease. It means your body is under strain. When the second night arrives, daylight stops disguising the problem. Sleep pressure is high, your body clock pushes toward sleep, and caffeine only mutes part of the warning. Now microsleeps become a serious possibility. Your head may dip, awareness may vanish, and the world can jump forward by missing seconds. At a desk, that is confusing. Behind a wheel, it can be catastrophic. Compare your rested version. Same reaction test, faster answer. Same instruction, remembered. Same annoyance, smaller emotional explosion. Same road, noticed in time. The frightening part is not simply being tired. It is feeling more capable than you really are. After about 48 hours awake, there is no universal schedule for each person. But historical studies show an escalating pattern. Some people develop anxiety, irritability, disorientation, and perceptual distortions. A coat may briefly look like a person. A static surface may seem to move. Conversations and memories feel like film with pieces missing. Across roughly 48 to 90 hours, more complex hallucinations and disordered thinking have been reported. After about 72 hours, some people have developed delusions. These are possibilities, not guaranteed checkpoints, and definitely not achievements to unlock. The most famous extreme case began in late 1963. 17-year-old Randy Gardner stayed awake for about 264 hours, 11 days. Researchers observed problems with attention, memory, coordination, mood, and perception. He eventually slept, and limited follow-up found no lasting deficit. But one teenager recovering from one supervised experiment does not prove it is safe. Modern researchers cannot ethically force healthy people through comparable extreme deprivation today. And there is no scientifically established hour when ordinary wakefulness suddenly becomes fatal. The immediate danger usually arrives earlier through crashes, errors, poor decisions, or an existing medical problem. You do not need an 11-day stunt to see damage accumulate. Repeated short nights can worsen attention even while people report that they are adapting. Objective performance slips as the exhausted brain updates its resume to basically fine. Over time, insufficient sleep contributes to metabolic, immune, and cardiovascular problems. Those risks are not an instant countdown, but one reason sleep debt should not become a lifestyle. So what changes when you finally sleep? Your brain moves through repeating non-REM and REM stages. Attention and memory networks shift away from constant daytime input. Recent experiences are processed and stabilized. Metabolic and immune regulation moves back toward normal, and the adenosine signal driving sleep pressure falls. Sleep also appears to influence how fluid moves through brain tissue and clears metabolic byproducts. The evidence is strong in animals and still developing in humans, so imagine useful overnight maintenance, not a tiny pressure washer power cleaning your thoughts. After one rough night, do not panic. Give yourself a chance to recover. If you are fighting sleep, do not drive. A short nap or caffeine may temporarily improve alertness, but neither replaces the missing sleep. Adults should regularly get at least 7 hours, while teenagers need 8 to 10. If sleeplessness or severe daytime sleepiness keeps happening, it deserves medical attention. Now return to that dark road. The smartest move is not opening another coffee. It is parking. Sleep is not wasted time when your brain switches off. It is the maintenance that keeps you awake when being awake matters most.